guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Unpopular K-pop opinions, because no more hyperpop, please.
5, 6, 7.
1. 50/50's Kina has gone on hiatus due to PTSD. On August 2024, Kina sued the Giver's CEO for straight up forging her signature to steal her share of Cupid's royalties. Dude scribbled her name on paperwork to lock her into a joke 0.5% cut of the song's profits, while he pocketed the rest. Fast forward to April 15, 2025, Kina decided to face this clown head on. Cops set up a 2-hour interrogation where she sat across from the Giver's CEO, lawyers in tow, and grilled him about the forgery, but sadly, the meeting broke her. Afterward, her mental health nosedived, puking, hearing voices, zero sleep, refusing to eat. This wasn't just stress, it was full-blown PTSD, which is why Attract announced her hiatus just 1 week after their recent comeback. Pookie. Kina walked into that interrogation room thinking she could outmaneuver a 50-year-old con scammer who's spent decades perfecting the art of lies and loopholes. But she never stood a chance. The Giver's CEO is the kind of predator who could sell you your own kidneys and make you thank him for the privilege.
I'm not sure why Kina was in that hearing though. Like why she's asking questions? Shouldn't attorneys be asking questions?
Yeah.
That's so weird. You don't even have to attend. Like as a
This was a hearing where it seems like it was like arbitration.
it was to me it looks like it was when you subpoena someone for like what you call it.
Cross-examination.
No, like
testimony.
in camera. Like you sit in a room on camera and what's the
okay.
word? I'm drawing a blank.
Like a discovery.
You're just throwing random law terms right now.
The fact that anyone's out here calling her hiatus media play to overshadow a Bloom's debut is beyond me. Vomiting from trauma and breaking down after confronting your abuser? That's not media play, that's textbook PTSD. And if you need proof to believe a woman was traumatized after being manipulated, exploited, and discarded by a literal fraud, maybe you're the problem. Kina's so brave for facing that monster. 2. K-pop's latest obsession with hyperpop's worst traits, squeaky vocals, chaotic beats, and zero restraint is spiraling into a full-blown identity crisis. Last week it was Cat's Eyes gnarly. Instead of embracing what actually makes hyperpop interesting, like the glitchy textures and surreal beauty, producers are snatching the
I don't know, guys. She's dragging it. Y'all dragging it. Well, guess what? It was like number 50 in UK on Billboard. Sorry, but no. Well, okay, they're not K-pop.
Not everyone is dragging it.
But a lot of people are dragging it, but the numbers are speaking for themselves. They're on Billboard at the 50th spot
that
in
song
UK.
is
That's
addicting.
something. So keep hating, I guess.
loudest, dumbest parts and slapping a genius label on them. The result? Groups like VVS. They've debuted last month with the single T, which was basically an obnoxious mantra of I'm the best, look at me over some busted migraine-inducing beat. And now they've dropped Perfect as a pre-release.
Familiar, VVS? Or I just know
We've reacted to them before, but not to this song.
VVS is a good name. It's like the diamond. That's pretty cool. I like
For their first comeback. And honestly, it's everything wrong with the hyperpop trend rolled into one steaming mess. It sounds like a parody of itself. This is the kind of song that makes you wonder if the producers hate their own group. The concept is some half-baked faux edgy cosplay that thinks swearing equals personality and loud equals cool. The execution? Pure chaos. We're talking pots and pans production. Lyrics that make your soul cringe and a rap verse that while technically solid feels like it wandered into the wrong song by mistake. The saddest part? This didn't have to suck. Perfect is a dumb name in a way that could be campy and fun if there was an ounce of self-awareness. But no, we get this awkward, try-hard limbo where the track thinks it's clever, but it's just loud, clunky and irritating. And the industry won't stop. They'll keep pumping out these hyperpop knockoffs, convinced they're being edgy or satirical when really, they're just recycling the same gimmicks until the wheels fall off. And fans will keep eating it up. Just look at how viral Gnarly went. But hey, what do I know? If that track ends up being the most streamed girl group song of the year, maybe I'm just some rando running my...
I guess that's the concern. People don't want like the K-pop sound to be now hyper pop.
Okay, so first of all, Cat's Eye is not K-pop. I don't know why we're grouping them together.
Collab with K-pop.
So that's that. Second of all, if Cat's Eye Gnarly does end up the most streamed girl group song, again, it's not K-pop. You can't compare Cat's Eye with aespa. It's just not the same audience. Like you can't just take a global girl group and compare someone who targets Korean market mostly. Like it's, come on, you can't compare them. So what you doing?
I feel better now.
So yeah, like whatever this song accomplishes, which already, as I said, it did. It was on Billboard in the UK. We'll see if it pulls up to the States. But it's not gonna reflect anything on K-pop. It's different. Like Cat's Eye's listeners are not going to listen to K-pop. K-pop is in Korean. They don't give a fuck. They don't understand. Who cares? This is all English song. A lot of people don't want to listen to foreign music. This is not foreign music, so it's
also
it is what it is.
I wonder if there's a little bit of like a little jealousy because these girls also have been interacting like with TXT, doing collabs.
It's the same part of the same label, right? So there
Mhm.
makes sense, the interactions. Are other people jealous? The fans? Yeah, I'm sure they're jealous. But normal people, I don't think they care.
Mm.
Well, the fans are jealous that their groups are not doing what Cat's Eye is doing. The numbers and whatnot. So
My Mouth Online. 3. A Bloom had dropped their debut Echo. Leading up to this re-debut, the girls rolled out a documentary
I
and did
have one more
interviews
thought.
basically worshipping the
Who
giver
do you think is Cat's Eye's biggest competition?
Vicha,
You think Vicha? Vicha's not even in discussion.
that's the only one. Who else? There's nothing else. There's no other girl group.
So I guess that's why they're kind of like in a space where they can just be and not necessarily compete with a rival group of their gen. So
Well,
they
if
get
you
to have a sweet spot because automatically the older gens are gonna like gravitate towards them because it's not like, oh, you have to pick a side.
if you really wanna like
Mhm. Talk about it. Let's talk about
maybe
it.
Blackpink.
You think Blackpink would be a rival group to Cat's Eye?
Depends if they start making songs in only English, yeah.
You know what I was
They
thinking
are
about?
global.
I was thinking about how long or how soon we're gonna see the Blackpink girls interact with Cat's Eye because that gnarly sounds really, 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 really good. Because it's to me, if it's not lyrics, it's kind of like sound effects. And I feel like Blackpink also do like sound effects in some of their songs too as well. And also the dance moves are super, super sharp. So I would think maybe like Elisa or Jenny would gravitate in trying to like get involved with the girls.
I don't think so. Separate labels. I don't
Mm.
think interacting like say hi at an award show, yeah,
Like,
we'll
oh,
see
your
that.
song is cute. Like, it's
But like
cute.
interact as in do a collab together, I don't think so.
Not a collab, not a collab, but like an interact, like a cute engagement.
Well, if they're at the same event, yeah, they will interact, but I can't predict what event that would be right now.
CEO. Yes, that man, the one whose name is literally in the credits. While I'm all for redemption arcs and starting fresh, you're not gonna catch me feeling sorry for these three when they're cozying up to the same snake who tanked 50-50 in the first place. This is the guy who gave Kina PTSD and snatched away her rights. And what did they say about him now? Those articles and allegations aren't true. Everything was exaggerated. We're so lucky to have him. Girl, be serious. When he scams you again, don't come crying. Then there's the song, Echo is basically Cupid with a washed out filter. Everything from the harmonies to the key
That's what we
change feels
thought.
like a watered down sequel nobody
I just didn't realize this guy is also the same guy that gave Kina PTSD. He seems like
Well,
a bad character.
we don't know. That's what we heard, we don't actually know the details. So let's hold the judgment. But the song, I didn't feel like it was washed down Cupid. It
I
gave
liked
it
it.
gave Cupid, but I think for their comeback song,
It's really good.
like they've been through like a traumatic experience and whatnot. To come back, like for not come back for the debut song, to come up with a song that has similar to Cupid,
Yeah.
has catchiness to it. I think they did a good job. That's the sound their audience like, clearly, because they liked Cupid. So these are the girls that sang Cupid. Yes, the name is different, but the girls are the same. So why should they come out with something completely different? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was the criticism that I have. Like, how can you accuse them sounding like 50-50, but they were 50-50?
Yeah, they did 50-50.
That's
They
their
sang
sound.
50-50. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with them sounding like 50-50 because that's their sound. Like if Treasure, now that they switched up, they're sounding like TXT. Okay, I don't like it. I don't, I liked old Treasure. This is different. They switched up. But these girls they're completely not switching up. They're staying to the
Yeah.
same. So we can't be mad at that.
asked for. The opener with the creepy laughter drags way too long. And the chorus? Deja vu in the least exciting way. They're clearly chasing that same viral formula. But lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. The track's entire
It does.
Yes, it does. We
It
actually watched
does.
the
It
video about
does.
this. It does. It does strike twice, and if anything, it's more likely to hit the same spot because the conditions are already good there to hit once. That means it's more likely to happen because there's certain conditions that need. Anyway, this is not about lightnings, but it does. She's wrong.
entirely in English, of course, because they're banking on the West now, since Korea washed its hands of them months ago. But they still have no strategy. How are you breaking into a market that doesn't know your name and doesn't care? Cupid went viral, sure, but it wasn't you that trended, it was the track. And instead of promoting it and building your profile, you nuked your own company, burned every bridge and turned yourselves into industry pariahs. I'm 90% expecting a flop, and that's me being generous. Even major acts like Little Mix had to fight tooth and nail to crack the US, and they had connections, clout, and a loyal fanbase. So explain to me how you're gonna pull it off with no backing and a messy scandal still.
You don't need backing. You just need to get lucky. The same. Well, how did they pull off with Cupid? There was nobody. Cupid kept and there's somebody. It's the same thing. We don't know if they're gonna be a hit or not. Like same with Cat's Eye's Gnarly. A lot of people criticized it. Well, guess what? It's on the billboards, so hate all you want.
Staining your name, I'll wait. 4. Meow are no longer exclusive. They got their first
What
win
does
with
that
Hands
mean?
Up, and besides the song charting well, the Black label has
Wow.
started actively promoting the girls. It almost feels like their official debut. Exclusive marketing is a death
Wow.
sentence for rookies, and the Black label's initial approach with Meow proves it. You can't sell Mystique to a public that doesn't know your name. Big Bang. 2 and E1.
What does that mean? No longer exclusive.
I guess they're open to taking deals.
So what? They were not taking deals before?
No,
Why?
I don't know, but
And
we didn't see the
Blackpink
girls
didn't
either.
start as untouchable icons, they grinded. Through variety shows, radio gigs, and endless interviews to build their fanbases, the Black label tried to skip the grind, slapped a luxury label on Meow
Oh, I guess in the sense that Meow won't attend like the shows.
Mhm.
Well, they did attend because we reacted.
debut and expected the world to care. Surprise, it flopped. Why? Because exclusivity isn't a strategy, it's a reward for clout you've already earned. Now after scrambling to fix their mistake, they're finally flooding the market with Meow content, variety appearances, TikTok challenges, relentless promo. And guess what? Hands Up is charting, pulling up to 800K.
I think Hands Up would have charted either way. It's a good song. It's a really good song. Very catchy song. Been
You
stuck in
think
my head.
so?
Yeah, I don't think I don't think their appearances at the shows is making what's making it chart. The song is making it chart. The song is really good.
Hey,
But
Spotify
people have
streams
to
da-
hear the song in order for it to chart, and for people to hear the song, they have to go and promote the song. I do think it does take promotion.
daily because people actually know who they are now. This isn't rocket science. You want demand? Create supply, flood every platform, shove the group down throats until their sound, faces, and personalities stick. Exclusivity works after you've saturated the market, not before. The Black label learned this the hard way, but at least they're course correcting. 5. SM just dropped their list of music releases for
And
the
they're
third
learning
quarter of
quickly, too.
2025.
Third quarter? Why third quarter? We're not even halfway through the second.
And surprise, surprise, Sunghan's name is nowhere to be found. Maybe I'm being a little too quick to call it, and sure, maybe he's tucked away in some quarter 4 plan, but let's be real. Am I really the only one not
For
buying this crap?
releases, future
Feels like
releases.
SM
No, I understand, but we're not done through this quarter. Why we're already releasing Q3? I didn't know anything about Q2. Like, where's the release for Q2?
threw out a fake he'll debut later, promised just to get OT7 stands to shut up and stop boycotting. And guess what? It worked. People folded like lawn chairs. Now that the heat's off, nobody's dragging Rise anymore, and SM got exactly what they wanted, silence. So do I think Sunghan's actually getting a real debut? Not really. At best, he'll get tossed a solo track with zero promo, just enough to keep his fans pacified. And with Rise dropping their first full album this month, if their numbers stay solid despite all the mess that went down, Sunghan's basically toast. SM will shelf him without blinking. 6. K-pop concerts in the West are becoming a breeding ground for casual racism. Asian concertgoers, whether they're international students, locals, or just fans who flew in, are being treated like intruders in a space that literally exists because of Asian culture. I've seen it firsthand. Non-Asian fans sneering at Asian attendees for daring to dress well, whispering stuff like saying under their breath, and even trying to get them kicked out by security for existing too loudly, or not loudly enough, depending on which racist stereotype they're leaning into that day. These are the same people who lose their minds over BTS or Blackpink, who scream about how much they stan Asian representation. But the second an actual Asian person shows up at a concert looking polished or excited, suddenly they're too rich or too obsessed or probably a stalker. Since when did
Wow.
being Asian at a K-pop concert become a crime? Oh right, since some non-Asian fans decided they own the genre more than the people who actually share the artist's culture. 7. Is Source Music
I
debuting
wonder
in
what are they wearing for people to have so much commotion. I'd be very interested to know.
Yeah, no
or
idea.
see.
Not something I can really comment
Yeah.
on. I've never been to a K-pop concert, nor am I Asian, so
I can kind of understand, like, naturally people at concerts, they're very catty to one another. Like, for
Really?
example, yeah, my friend went to a Kylie Minogue concert and everyone was criticizing what era of Kylie Minogue you're arriving as. And if you came as red looks from Kylie Minogue's Padam Padam, you're like, oh, you're a new fan, you're not a real fan. So it's kind of like this cattiness. They want to know if you're a real fan, so you come in something very unique and not very typical to kind of prove how much of a fan you are. So I can see maybe something similar could happen. I don't know.
yeah, I can't comment.
new girl group this year? There's been a lot of chatter about it, but I have no idea where people are getting that from. Hybe only confirmed the big hit boy group, a Japanese group in those global projects. Companies always spill the tea on upcoming group debuts during investor briefings because that's their bait. It's how they lure in fresh investors and keep the current ones from jumping ship. Lee Seraphim is only 3 years old, Don't expect a new group from Source Music until at least next year. 8. Let's talk about the second season of Mnet's Boys Planet, which is set to air later this year. A lot of people are saying it should have been Girls Planet instead. But if survival show history has taught us anything, it's that the female versions are usually just templates or test runs for the male editions. Plus, ZB1 ended up being way more successful than Kepler, who kinda peaked at debut, so it makes sense to move forward with Boys Planet 2. As for the train
Maybe like in terms of numbers, but I feel like Kepler's music has gotten better to me than from the earlier works. So now, if they don't do the numbers, I don't know. I can't compare, but
And I don't know if we can truly be upset that a company is proceeding with having Boys Planet if it's Boys Planet 2 if it's more profitable. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they're putting up their money. Maybe they couldn't get it right or make it work, so someone else can make that investment and do something different to make it work for
Yeah.
a girl group.
yeah, I don't think that's something fans have a right to be upset about. The company doesn't own them
Yeah.
anything.
trainees, there's been some reports about members of DKB, The Wind, WHIB, and Verivery possibly competing, but nothing is officially confirmed yet. Already debuted idols have always been a staple of these shows, but lately it feels like they make up half the lineup. With the whole industry struggling to find fresh trainees, companies just throw in their idols because it's basically free promo. If the idol debuts,
I mean, yeah, why not? They already went through training, so if you also better for fans because you get a better quality at contestants. So what's wrong with that?
they get a cut of the profit without spending a penny on promotions, and if not, he just goes back to his original group like nothing happened. 9. Oh My Girl is entering the See You in 3 years territory. WM Entertainment announced that Yubin, Sungi, Mimi, and Hyejung renewed their contracts, while Yua and Aaron did not, but they're still signed for group activities, which is expected. Yua and Aaron are the most popular and most interested in solo activities. It's their second renewal, and honestly, 10 years is a solid run for a non-Big Four group. Expect a reunion or special concert down the line, like GOT7 or G-Friend. 10. Another SM group just got hooked up to life support. Mitro is a 5-member trot boy group formed through the reality
The way
show
she
Falling
said
for
that, I thought they were really on life support for a second.
Trot Idol. They were supposed to debut back in February, but that got pushed back. They've had some pre-debut songs and activities. Plus, all the members were actual adults. The oldest is 32 and the youngest is 26. Makes sense though, they're trot singers. If you're not familiar, trot is this classic Korean genre that dates back to the early 1900s. It mixes traditional Korean sounds with jazz, blues, and pop influences. Basically, it's Korea's version of country music, nostalgic, dramatic, and very much in acquired taste. Now here's where it gets sketchy. The group's socials got deactivated out of nowhere. No warning, no explanation, just gone. And before you point fingers at SM, nope, they're not the ones managing Mitro. SM is only supposed to handle their music production and A&R. The actual management falls on this company called Yam Yam Entertainment, whose reputation is garbage. Fans who've dealt with them before say they fumble every artist they touch. So now people are rightfully eyeing the situation and worrying Mitro might be dead on arrival.
Looks like they're dead. If all the social medias are off,
Yeah.
pretty sure they're dead. Yeah.
Okay. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.